And he has this shy, pretty wife now, and she's really shy. And she's really pretty. So sorry, I couldn't help it.
Listen, Janelle, you never have to apologize for making fun of Cody and the stuff he says, because we absolutely love it. If you are new to this channel, welcome. This is Happily Ever Reality, and my name is Brittany. I love some reality television, and Sister Wives is one of my favorite shows. So today we are going to be talking about that. We're talking about Season 20, Episode 2, which is titled Welcome to Speed Dating. The first thing I want to talk about is actually Cody and Robin. In this episode, we see them really discussing Coyote Pass quite a bit. We also see Cody cutting down trees, and I wonder if he does it as much as it seems like he does on the show. Or if they call him and say, we need to film somewhere, and then Cody and Robin say it has to be outside of the house, and so he just naturally starts cutting down trees. Anyway, let's focus on Coyote Pass. It's sort of the same thing we've heard for the last few seasons. Robin is struggling a little bit with letting go of the property. Cody is telling her she needs to move on. But in this episode, Cody takes it further. He says, not only do I want to move on from Coyote Pass, I want to move on from this house. Now, I have to tell you guys something, and I know some of you are not going to like this, but I felt like if there was ever an episode where Robin was sort of redeeming herself, I felt like it was this one.
Me living so close, I just kept going out there and putting my good energy and just going, okay, we're going to get out here. We're going to get out here.
I don't necessarily know if I believe she was going out there to put good energy into the property, but there is a part of me that wonders if the proximity has made it a bit more difficult for her to let it go. Like it was a part of her everyday life. If she's out there and she can see it, it was a part of her world every single day where the other wives didn't feel literally that physically close to the property, and so maybe they didn't feel that sort of attachment to it, and it's easier for them to let go of it. With that being said, I still think she just needs to move on. It didn't work out. It wasn't going to work out. Her holding on to it isn't doing herself any favors or their family any favors. But there's a part of me that was like, okay, I can understand if I see something every day and I feel an attachment to it, I may hold on to it a little bit more than everyone else. But when it comes to them actually living out there, Janelle doesn't agree. She says that no one really thought they were all going to be out there together, and no one really wanted it.
Nobody really wanted to live out there. Christine didn't want to live out there. Meri would have done it if everybody else had done it.
I want to stop it right here and add that Janelle, right before this, mentions that she saw herself living out on the property because it's a beautiful property, but she didn't necessarily see that being with the other wives. It was something she saw just for herself.
Robin has a house. Like, she had a house that was pretty much there without being there on the property. Like, I just could see very soon after we moved to Flagstaff that that was not going to be a thing.
So you can see there's some differences there with how Janelle perceives everyone and what was going to happen with the property, and then Robin holding on to it. But Cody and Robin talk, and she brings up, what it represents, like what it was for the family. And Cody's like, you're having a hard time letting go of what it symbolizes. So who knows? Maybe Robin never really thought they would be out there, but maybe it's just that. It's the symbol of the family falling apart. It didn't work out. It never happened. But I have a little bit of compassion for her, even though I think she still played a big role in the family falling apart. I think she's having a hard time here. But Cody is also having a hard time, right? He's wanting to start over somewhere new. He's telling Robin he wants to move away from all of this. And she ends up agreeing. She says it will be hard when the property, Coyote Pass, is sold and there are new houses being built out there and she has to look at them. Now, you may be wondering why I felt like starting this video off with Cody and Robin, because usually I put them off until the end, but I felt like Cody kept giving us these little moments where we could just see how awful he is when it comes to his children, his adult children. So let's talk about a few of those moments. Cody and Robin are talking about the house they would like to move into if they move. And Cody makes it clear that he wants a home with a lot of space. And you're thinking, that's because he has 18 children. 18 kids, that's a lot of kids. But when he talks about it, it never sounds like that. It seems like he's only talking about his kids with Robin. I'm going to put a clip in here so that you guys can hear it.
Well, we need to have enough room for everyone.
I would like room for grandchildren with our kids to return home and feel safe, like they got space.
Our children. He says our children. It's almost like it's deliberate. I feel like he is deliberately emphasizing our children. To make it clear, he means the children with Robin. But Robin actually comes back and kind of points out, you mean all the kids.
And then space for your kids to be able to...
I'll be honest with you. I think
your other
Truly would come and
kids.
stay if she had a space that was her own.
So there you have it. Robin points out all the kids, like your kids, the other kids, all 18 of the children. And Cody comes back with bringing up Truly, which we know is something Christine wanted. She wanted Truly to have her own room there, which is something that would make any teenager feel more comfortable. If they show up to a house and know they have their own space, they're more likely to want to stay longer. That makes sense. So Cody is at least mentioning Truly, but he's not mentioning the other kids.
That would be great. I feel like that it's really important for Cody to repair his relationships with his kids. If it really is this thought, if we have the space, they will come.
I don't actually think that space is going to fix the problem, but I do think it will make it more likely that some of the kids will come and visit with their grandkids, but I don't think it's going to heal anything at all. But I see her point a little bit. There are 18 kids. You're not going to feel comfortable going over to someone's house if they don't have the space for you, and you're going to feel even less comfortable if it's a strained relationship and you're visiting to try to work on things. But I don't think the extra rooms are really going to entice the kids to come to their house. With that being said, that's not the only time that Cody emphasizes that he wants space for the children with Robin and Truly, but not the other kids. There's another time he talks just about the same way that he did in that previous clip.
I want my space. I want my business space. And then I want space for grandkids and Truly.
So there again, he is emphasizing that he's wanting space, but he's saying specifically for grandkids and Truly. Now, there's definitely an argument to be had here about whether or not Cody is talking about the grandchildren that exist, and all of those grandkids are from the 13 kids with Meri, Janelle, and Christine, or if Cody is talking about future grandchildren. I think he means future grandchildren because at one point he references the kids coming back. Well, they had to be there to come back to his house. So to me, he's not even talking about the grandkids he has now. He's talking about the future ones with Robin's kids, not the other wife's children. But I could see how someone might argue, no, he's saying grandkids, and the grandkids that exist are the 13 children from the other wives. You guys know what I mean. I just think with Cody, he doesn't give a crap. I don't think he cares to really, really work on those. I think it's easy. I think he's realizing that being in a monogamous relationship is way easier than polygamy, and he's loving it. So just ditch all of those people. That is my perception of what's happening here. Now let's refocus back on Coyote Pass. We find out that Cody is willing to put everyone's names on all of the separate pieces of property. That will mean that they all get 1/4 of the sale. That sounds fantastic. Janelle's on board, Meri's on board, but we find out during all of this that Cody doesn't like talking to Meri. So he is avoiding talking to her, and Janelle is the one that's communicating all of this information to her, or they're doing it by email. I found that to be a little bit funny. I sort of wonder how Meri is talking to him because, Meri can have an attitude. We know that. So I'm wondering how those phone calls are going, but honestly, I don't care. She can be as rude to him as she wants to be during those phone calls because we know how he has treated all of them, whatever they are dishing. Quite frankly, I think he probably deserves it. Before I move on from Coyote Pass, there's one more clip I want to throw in, and it's another one from Janelle. I started this video out with one of her talking about Cody and Robin and how Cody talks about Robin. Just got to put in one more because I really, really loved it.
Those are words he's used. He's very shy and she's really pretty. I'm like, well, good for you.
Yeah, he brings it up so much. It's bizarre. I don't know what point he's trying to prove at all. I can't figure it out because we also know that Meri was very, very shy when she first met Cody. She might not be shy anymore, but she was. So I just don't get it. But anyway, there's one more thing related to this. You know, Janelle's talking about how he says all of that. There is a moment in this episode where he talks about Robin being angelic.
Listen, I have this wife. Her name is Robin. She's got a conscience that is angelic and very close to God.
But that's not all, you guys. She's also shy and pretty, just in case you didn't know. She's very, very shy and pretty. The shy and pretty wife. Okay, but that's not all. He goes on and then he makes this really crazy face. And I've always believed he practices things in front of the mirror before they film. I want to know, how many times did he have to practice this to get it right?
And she would never let me do anything naughty. As bad as I want to do it.
Just in case you guys missed it, I'm going to put that up here one more time.
As bad as I want to do it.
I mean, I don't know exactly what he was going for, but I think he nailed it. And so I can only assume he had to practice all of that. All right, let's talk about Christine and David. In this episode, we see them helping Mykelti and Tony make the move from Utah to North Carolina. This is something that Christine is very, very sad about. You know, she's finally there in Utah with her whole family, and Mykelti and Tony are moving. They're moving over there because Mykelti wants her kids to grow up close to their cousins. And Tony is a chess player. He takes it seriously. It's something he earns money doing. And I guess in North Carolina, that's the chess capital of the world or America. I really don't know. I didn't pay that much attention, but they are making the move so he can take his chess playing more seriously. This is just very sad for Christine. But I think Christine also is sort of creating her own life. And I think Mykelti was sort of holding on to the family that they had before. And that is something that's brought up in this episode. So I'm going to put the clip of Cody talking first so that you guys can hear Cody being a bad father. And then we'll talk a little bit more about what Mykelti says and what Christine says.
So we were trying to see them in St. George. They had plans that they couldn't change, and we had plans that we couldn't change, and we just never were able to make the contact.
First of all, I want to apologize for the audio. I have no idea why there's that slight ringing sound in the clip. I don't know if it was a background sound on the show, but there's a little bit of a ringing on that one. Focusing on what Cody said, to no one's surprise, there was an excuse for not seeing his kids and grandkids. Well, kid and grandkids. It doesn't surprise me as a viewer, but I do wonder what Mykelti thought about that. If it was me and my child and grandkids were moving across the country, I would be changing my plans. Like, that would feel like the most important thing would be to say goodbye to them before they left. Or help them move. Have you noticed it's Christine and David that help with the moving? It's not Cody and Robin. And all of their adult kids who aren't married and don't have children and could maybe help pack up some stuff. But we never see that happening. It is Christine and David that are there for them. But I'm going to put in a clip here of Mykelti talking about not seeing Cody.
Told him he should come up and see us before we leave, and hey, didn't happen. So I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I feel like this is a very different Mykelti than we had a couple seasons ago when she was really trying to keep the family together and show that she could have a good relationship with Robin and Cody. Now, she doesn't say a lot here, and anything I'm guessing is just that. I'm speculating. But if I had to make an assumption based on Cody's behavior, I think her and Robin were really close. I think Robin came there and helped with the babies. I think Cody was pretty low effort as far as going to see her and her kids. And eventually that relationship just fizzled. I think there were things that strained it, and it is just not what she wanted it to be, which Christine mentions. There's a confessional with Christine where she brings that up. But I think really Mykelti wanted a lot more than she was going to get from Cody. And I'm sort of surprised that she believed he would put in effort, because he hasn't done that with the other kids. I don't know. The only thing that might have made it different was her relationship with Robin, but I think Cody is all talk. When he says, oh, if they like Robin, then things will be okay. Well, Mykelti likes Robin. So that just doesn't seem to be true. I'm going to add the clip of Christine talking about Mykelti and Cody's relationship as well.
The whole thing's just been sad. The relationship with them is just not what Mykelti hoped it would be.
I put that clip in of Christine because I think that's the closest we're going to get to finding out how things are going with McKelty and Cody, or at least the closest we got in this one episode. Because I think McKelty is always going to hold off on what she says on the show because Cody is so unforgiving. As a matter of fact, right after we see this, we see a confessional with Cody where he says that the relationships with his adult children are strained because of trash talk and innuendo. He just doesn't forgive them. And so I think McKelty is the one who's going to be the most careful with what she says. But Christine, Christine kind of says there's some disappointment there. It hasn't been what McKelty wanted. But focusing a little bit more on Christine, she's really emotional about them moving. She doesn't want her grandkids to be in North Carolina, which is understandable, but her and David still help them move, of course. And that is sort of where their story ends in this episode. We see them making that move, and it looks like they have some really, really bad weather on the way there. And then there is one more person I would not end this video without talking about, and that is Meri, because we finally see her on those speed dates.
Oh, talk, I think.
Yeah, but
introduce ourselves.
no one told me I had to fill things out.
Only if you want to.
Oh.
Only if you want to.
So how many of you felt like the date with Lee was painful? Like, I felt uncomfortable watching it. And I don't know if it was because she was nervous or maybe she wasn't interested in him, or it was the first date, right? Like, it was the first one. So maybe, again, maybe the anxiety or the nerves got to her, but it was just very uncomfortable to watch. And there was nothing about him that seemed particularly terrible. I mean, he seemed okay with what little bit we saw, but it was difficult to watch. And then we see her get upset with this guy named Jeff who makes a joke about only being married to one person at a time. She got really, really upset about that joke, and I just didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Married twice, only one at a time. And
I don't like dumb jokes.
I just don't feel like that was a big deal. I don't feel like he was making a mean joke or a bad joke. I think he was trying to be friendly. You're sitting across from someone you don't know. That can make people nervous. It wasn't a big deal, but she went on about it for a while in the confessionals. And then finally, it's like guy number 4, his name is Ron. You can tell immediately when he sits down that this is someone she's attracted to. So everything is different, right? Which is okay, but like, if Ron had made the joke that Jeff made, I think it would have been fine. She wasn't interested in Jeff, so that joke wasn't okay. That's my take. Anyway, she does end up meeting at least one guy that she liked. It was the Ron guy. They did seem to have great chemistry. Or maybe it wasn't great and I'm just exaggerating it because I am looking forward to seeing all of them find people, so I'm wanting it to happen for them. But it seemed to at least be pretty good chemistry. And that's really it. That's all we got out of the speed dating thing. I think it's good for her to go and do this, though. I think they should all take their time. I think Janelle is onto something when she talks about just trying to be active and social in the community. I think Meri going on dates and speed dating. These women didn't. Well, Janelle was married before, but still, there wasn't a lot of time to go out there and be themselves and meet the right people. I think it's good they're doing this. Even though I like David and Christine together, there's a part of me that wishes Christine had had a little bit more time. But I also understand I've had comments left here when I've made videos about this where people say you don't feel like you have time when you're older. You really are actively looking and pursuing a little bit differently than you would if you're younger. So there is the age thing going on here, but I don't think it's hurting Meri to do this. And honestly, I enjoyed seeing it. I think it's so wonderful that she has a friend like Jen who is doing all of this with her and encouraging her. But you guys, that is it for this video. If you have any comments, leave those down below. If you haven't already, I hope you will click like and subscribe. I'm going to leave you with one final clip of Robin where she's talking about firecrackers.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, hey, stop, she didn't mean that. Hey, he didn't mean that. Hey, well.